what inspired your manifestation workshops for actors and comedians, and what is that?
So it came to me. So a lot of times, even with these conversations, some things I'm just a vessel, and sometimes words come out of my mouth and I'm hearing them for the first time, just like you. So I was sitting on the couch watching that TD Jakes video that you referenced that I put on my page. We were watching
Yes,
the TD Jakes video, me and my boo, and
love it.
he was talking about who you have around you and energies and all of that. All these people that have been taking their own lives and dying,
Mm,
and just in the LA comedy community alone, we lost three or four comics just last year.
yeah,
So a lot of my friends who were comedians were hurting. There just was a lot of hurt. And so this was like right after or right before Christmas. I thought about how, and I saw the vision. So I saw the vision, and then, but like God will give me a vision, and then my intellect will make it make sense for me. So I get it. So I saw a vision of a workshop that was healing to people. I saw a workshop where actors could come during the Hollywood shutdown, because Hollywood shuts down for the holidays for 3 weeks. A
right.
place where actors could come if they were suffering from depression, if not feeling hopeful, if they're stuck in LA because they can't afford to go back home, and so they're here for the holidays without their family. If it's New Year's Eve and that's triggering for them to not want to go into a new year, so they're contemplating suicide. I started to see those people that are going through that, and I saw a workshop of giving them something to do during the break to shift them out of that, to give them hope, but also to have them working, because actors are used to getting sides and preparing auditions. Like that's their machine. That's their routine every week. And that stops right before Christmas until this first or second week in January. So they have nothing to do. Nothing. When they had a lot to do. So I saw the workshop, and then the intellect started to make it make sense. So I'm like, okay, well, how do I do that? I see it, but how do I do that? And so the workshop is called the manifestation. I did two versions. I did a stand up one and I did an actor one. So the idea behind the actor one is to, once you register, you have to think about what you want your life to look like in the future. Who do you want to be in the future? Who do you want to be around in the future? Where do you want to, where in your career, where do you physically want to be? What type of person do you want to be? Like, what's your aspiration? And then you come to the workshop, you tell me you sit on stage, you tell me what that is, which feels very therapy like. That's why I always cringe at that. It feels very therapy like. And then a scenario will come to me for you to improv perform. It'll come to me, and it'll already be something that will trigger you in a good way. So the acting part of it is the character you're building on the fly is your future self. It's not you now. So you're still
Mm,
acting because you have to be your future self. You have to be Josiah 10 years from now, or Josiah 15 years from now. Or, if you're not a father, it's you as a father.
ooh,
So it's,
heavy.
or if you don't have a lot of money now, it's you successful. What do you look like when you're successful? What does your confidence look like when you're successful? If it's you're single and you want to be married, what do you look like once you're in love? What does that look like? Now that you have this love that you were waiting, because a lot of times we'll go, well, I'll be happy as soon as I have this. As soon as I'm married, I'll be happy. As soon as I'm working regular, I'll be happy. So let's
Exactly.
let's let's bring to life that as soon as, and let's see if that's enough for you, one, and let's let you feel it. So with manifesting anything, the only things you have to do to manifest is know what you want and see yourself with it. That's all you have to do for it to come to you. So we talk about what it is that they want. um they give the phone to the person that's helping me so that it can be filmed on their phone, so that they can feel comfortable being vulnerable, because the video doesn't exist anywhere else but their phone.
Hmm.
And then they get to act this out. And so there were some really great ones. Like there was this comedian who was like really amazing. And I don't want to say anybody's names because some of them were really personal.
Sure.
And I wish I could because they were so good. I wanted to tell people that they were good. Just if you're a catcher, just DM me and I'll give you a list who's good. No, but I won't. Hire me instead.
Yes.
I'm not gonna let you think for my mind. So there was this one comedian, and his first scenario, he jumped only 2 years into the future, and his stand-up special had come out. He's successful now. He's dating a really famous star, and that's like all over TMZ or whatever. And so the scene that he set, he's in Sam's Club with his dad. So he sees himself in the future successful, but still spending time with his father.
Mm-hmm.
His son is there, who's now 9. I think his son is 7 now, but his son is 9 in the future. And it's just a day in Sam's Club. And he bumps into one of his old teachers. And through the conversation with his teacher, we hear about what his current life is like. Oh, yeah, you saw my special? Yeah. Da, da, da. You see it that way. Then every now and then somebody interrupts the conversation because they recognize him and they want to say hi and give him a compliment. Like, he really created the world of, this is what my life is like now when I go in Sam's Club with my dad and my kids. And then I had him do a second scene jumping further into the future where his 7-year-old son is now 16. And I said, let's see the type of dad you want to be when your son is 16. So then he went golfing with his son. And he talked to his son about being a man and dealing with girls, and that was him manifesting the type of relationship that he wants to have with his son when he's older, and the type of father that he wants to be to a 16-year-old son. That was his. He had an actor who's very popular, who's on a very popular Hulu show right now, and so he wanted to manifest the moment he realizes with his accountant he's hit the $1 million mark. And so his improv was with his accountant, kind of, money management. And okay, so how much of a house can I afford? And I know I just bought the Tesla, but now that I have this $1 million mark, like what can I afford? And so they were working that out. There was a Jamaican actor who manifested that his dream is to bring Jamaican culture to a major streaming service. In the same way that we have Black culture, like Insecure is Black culture, he wants to do Jamaican culture. Mm-hmm. So in his manifestation, he sold a show to ABC that was about Jamaica, and he very proudly called his teacher from Jamaica to tell her the good news and tell her that he was flying her out to the premiere. And so what he got to feel was so much pride. Like when they do it right, and most of them did, it feels so real to you because it's you playing you, talking to people that you really know. So it's very easy to visualize it as realistic. And like some of them were shaking or crying happy tears or couldn't come down from the high because it felt so real. And so that did two things. That one, set the wheels in motion for that thing that you actually want. And if you came in this room in a funk, you're no longer in a funk. Nope. Now you have something to look forward to and you feel hopeful. And that was the point of the workshop. The stand-up one, I did a separate one for stand-up only because not every stand-up can act. And so I didn't want it to be foreign for them. Mm-hmm. So I had them do a stand-up set telling a funny joke about what their life is like. So I kept it in the format that they know. So they might do stand-up about, I just opened this nightclub and, it's doing well, but let me tell you about this, and this. Like it was like that.
Yeah.
That was the stand-up one and that was the actor one. But they felt really good. But no, it just came to me divinely. And I just really just trust that I'm going to know what to say to them and that I'm going to, I say what comes to me divinely. I won't say what's my own personal opinion because I don't want to break anybody. I don't have a degree to put them back together.
That is real.
So I only say what like divinely comes to me. Like, there was this one actor that he came in like prepared with his monologue, right? So he came in with his monologue and it was a commencement speech at a college. And so he's doing it and he's very braggadocious in his speech about how great his life is, right? So then I said, okay, I can tell you were at a commencement at a graduation at a college. Which college was it? And he said, my brother's college. And I said, okay. And so the Amber wanted to say, why would you choose your brother's college, right? But the divine was like, leave that alone. Don't ask. There's something there. Leave that alone. Let's get him where we need him to get without picking it apart. So then I said, okay. I said, so who was there to support you for this big speech that you did? He said, oh, I had a whole team. I had stylists and my personal assistant. I said, who did you have there that loved you? And he said he didn't know what to say. I said, let's just do, and then it was again, the divine was like, okay, stop right there. So I said, let's do a different context. And he said, okay. I said, tell me about where you grew up. So when I found out where he grew up and about high school and middle school and all that, I said, so why don't we have you go back to your middle school and talk to 8th graders in one of your old classrooms? And that forced him to pull from his actual memory of what, not a fake, not the college that he wasn't connected to, where he might not even know exactly what the stadium looks like. Let's have you go to an exact classroom, to an exact school that you lived at, and see 8th graders that are where you used to be. And let's improv a different speech to them. And then that he was able to connect with. So the way I do it is, it's different for everybody. Like there was one actress that she just wanted to manifest not having her past traumas anymore. And hers was just in the future praying to God, thanking him that she didn't have the traumas that she had and being very specific about them. And that was just her moment. So it was different for different people.
Wow.
It was fun.
Like that, yes. It sounds like it was very good, and I enjoyed seeing like the different reviews on Instagram and the few videos that I caught of like you said, people's monologues and people going through.
Yeah, some of them they would post them and I could like repost them. Yeah.
That's wow. So guys, this is why you need to keep up with Miss Amber Bickham right here, because that is that's amazing stuff. Like what's